what I think you don't realise is that this new beginning of yours has already started. We've got the Chariot card. But yes, you're going through a period of quite intense change here. Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, firstly, Happy New Year, Aries, because this is a general reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. Maybe take a look at your Saturn and Jupiter at the minute as well. Being a general reading, timing is not absolute. If you watch tarot on YouTube, then you know what I'm going to say. You know, roles can be reversed, all that. But with my readings, if you've seen them before, you know I like you to come to me with a question. So pause the video if you need to. Think about all the questions that are around you at the moment. Pick one of them. Focus on one of them, because more focus, energy in, energy out. But be aware of all the others, because the cards will answer what they please to and not necessarily what you and I think is the most important one. Now, having said all that, any further details about the reading are in the description below. If you check that out, press subscribe while you're there. I'd be very grateful, because it does help the channel. In the meantime, let me bring up the cards, if it will let me. Okay, so it seems to be a day of technical issues. So there was a few, you'll see me shuffle video in a moment, but I forgot to actually turn the cards over in the shuffle video. But these Oracle cards flipped over while I was selecting them. The ironic thing was the cat was annoying me and I said, oh, Spirit, help me focus. And then this focus card popped out. But focus and patience, bittersweet, protection and solitude, which it very much looks like a tower to me, but I don't think it's a tower like the tower card. So from the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel, Four of Wands, Knight of Swords. So let me change camera again. And so from the bottom of the deck, the world's opening up to you at the moment, Aries, although it's not going to look like it, because it looks like a experience that, although it will be fast, it may be a little more sharp-edged, a little more sharp-toothed, sharp-teethed. Neither. There's sharper teeth involved. But there is a commitment coming your way, whether this is one you are making. And to me, this does look to me like it's a commitment you are making. There is a human-headed bird on this one, so that reminds me of the Egyptian symbol of the soul. You are making the commitment there, or your soul is making a commitment to you, or you know, your higher self is going, yeah, you do this, I'll make sure this is sorted out for you. But with this Hecate card, protection, that's where you seem to be at the moment. Nine of Wands. You're ready for some form of, not ready for some form of attack, but you are being defensive. You are making sure your defenses are secure at the moment, because it's something that you have worked towards, and I don't think it's realised yet because of that defensiveness, but it's all up in the air at the moment. We have the Wheel again, Wheel of Fortune. You've got a lot of major arcana in the present. You look like you're going through quite a big time. So there's also some form of conflict around you, but I think it is time for you to actually lay the law down yourself and dedicate yourself to whatever dream, whatever path forward you are seeing for yourself, because the emotions involved in this, most of them aren't yours, and yours are quite settled and under control now, but I don't think that that's necessarily always been true, hence that defensiveness. There are certain emotions that you're not wanting to see, although your intuition has been leading you to this point. So, as I didn't say at the start, this reading either is for you or it isn't. So, if that doesn't describe your present, this reading is probably not for you. Things are moving fast for you and around you at the moment, and it's causing you no short amount of anxiety. But there's certain things that you're seeing, yeah, I'm cutting that out, I'm cutting that off, but you're maybe not being um, as definite, as cutting as you have been in the past, because you're being a little more judicious, a little more careful about the things that you cut off now. So let's look what's brought up to the present. So there was a choice that you was offered that was almost dragging you out of the situation that you were in at the time. And it gave you quite an amount of passion to get out of whatever that situation was. And then you left sat on your own going, huh? What? But I just got out of that so I could be in this nice, happy new space. And where's this nice, happy new space? But it was showing you various aspects of yourself that you needed to look at, various aspects of what you're wanting, because you weren't short of friends. You know, there's a wonderful party celebration atmosphere here. We've got the Three of Cups clarified with the Four of Swords and the Two of Cups. So what a curious combination. We have the camaraderie. We have, if you're taking it on a relationship level, Three of Cups can mean third party situation, but I want to put it as options at the moment. But the Four of Swords was showing that a little bit of time on your own will give birth to, gave birth, sorry, this is past tense, gave birth to new ideas, new joy for life. I mean, these flowers seem to be giving birth to lambs. And the one thing that I think about with the lambs is not just the divine insight, Lamb of God, and all of that, but also the frolicking in the fields, bouncing around, having joy, having fun, which is emphasized by this Three of Cups. But you also have the Two of Chalices, Two of Cups right with it. So there was some form of unity coming around for you. Now, I'm not going to necessarily say that that's a soulmate thing. I feel it's more just as the lovers, it can be two competing forces, two competing choices, even. So I think that Two of Cups has enabled you to bring everything together and just get a few moments using that your own time, because during all of this you're with good people, you have good people around you, but you are also on your own at the same time. So I'm not saying lonely, but you're having that chance for introspection, you're having that chance for just being there with your own thoughts. And it has enabled you to say, yeah, I know what I'm wanting out of life now. I mean, let's face it, the astrology recently has been all about making these decisions anyway. And I think you've done the work for saying, yeah, I know where I want to head. And I know it's not going to be a fast journey, but I have all the material to get there. And your intuition has been saying, yeah, balance, harvest will come, but it will be a slow time. And there are going to be some people who are pulling against you. Huh, I never got that from the Two of Pentacles before. So now we're in that defensive mode, but your emotions are pretty much under control of an even keel. And there is wish fulfillment coming to you. But I'm wondering with this Nine of Cups, whether it's wish fulfillment for you or wish fulfillment for somebody around you, because you seem to be in this card. I can take it that you are the fulfilled, you have had your wish fulfilled, but I can take it that you are also fulfilling a wish. And that's putting you in a certain, by having your wish fulfilled, you are fulfilling a wish as well, but it's putting you slightly into a role of some servitude, which is making you feel, again, more than a little defensive, more than a little, you're getting rid of your wounds that are there in the Nine of Wands, but it's like you then have something, it gives you a quest, it gives you something to fight for, something to defend, rather than just being defensive for the sake of it. Because it's clarified here by the Sun, which, if you know your tarot, is the most happy, happy, joy, joy card of the whole deck, or decks in this case. So the world is going to be opening up to you. You just have to be aware that there's certain things that you are going to lose in the process of this, but that is natural. Maybe that's why, where did I see that King of Swords? Yes, it is natural that certain things will fall away, but by allowing that, you do get some happiness, because it's not the contents of the cup that's so important as just the fact that you have those cups. Um, but again, this is a slow process, the Hanged Man. So there's wisdom is going to come, but it's almost like you're in this position of fulfilling somebody's wish and fulfilling a wish of your own, to then find what the happiness is and what the happiness isn't. Because all of these cups on this card are actually hung upside down. The contents are gone. But they make great wind chimes, and the people within the card are not in the slightest bit bothered. So Nine of Pentacles, there's again that energy of concentrating on yourself, but you're changing, you are shifting shape, you are shifting who you are, because all of this that's been going on, you are starting on a change process. You are starting on a time of growth, a time of divine illumination, but it's going to feel a little impoverished for a while. It is going to feel why am I still on my own in all of this? Well, because it's your journey and nobody else's. But things will eventually pick up, and when they pick up, they will pick up fast. We've got two Eight of Wands here, and everything that you have been protecting, it will be of it will have been worth it. Do you know what I mean? You won't have lost those special things that you have been wanting, because people have been seeing you making plans, maybe going ahead with, let me try this, let me try that. And they've been thinking that you're a little foolish, but you have been searching for this new beginning. And what I think you don't realize is that this new beginning of yours has already started. We've got the Chariot card, but yes, you're going through a period of quite intense change here. And you're not necessarily wanting the anxiety and the nightmares that that's going to cause. And it's already causing you anxiety. You don't like this change, but, excuse me, you don't like this change, but you are going to achieve victory through this change. But there is a lot of things that are going to come crumbling down from your life because they're just not useful anymore. So I don't think you're actually going to miss anything that, I like that King of Cups, Knight of Cups, sorry. I don't think you're actually going to miss anything that you lose during this period. Be aware that certain things are going to fall away, but that's because you don't necessarily need them. And what's going to help you recognize all this is this act of wish fulfillment, where you are the fulfillee and the fulfiller. That's not easy to say. It's a good job I hadn't started my New Year celebrations yet. So a potential future is a new beginning, where there is wish fulfillment, but there is also a little bit of, do I really want to step into this? But I'm getting the impression that yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because follow your intuition and it will lead you. I'm seeing between those 9 of Wands there was another 9 somewhere, wasn't there? Brings you to a clarity, a whole new start, a clarity that gives you the ability to go, okay, them wounds that I've been carrying and that I sorted and healed, that was something down here, I see the point of them now. I see why I went through that and why, because you are keeping yourself very much to yourself. There may be partners in here. There's certainly a lot of friends around you, and they are good friends, but you're not relying on them because you don't need to, because this is your journey. As it said here, solitude, protection. There is things that you are protecting, and for the time being, keep protecting them because it will be a good thing that you have. But what is left after everything is falling away and you're going through this change, is the stuff that that you've been protecting for dear life, um, will be what you need for a beautiful new beginning. But it is a slow process. So let's have a look at the rest of the now. One of the oracle cards that I put back because more than one flipped over, or it flipped over in a dance with another one, and I chose the other one because it flipped over first, was with that Hecate card, there was a card that signified health. And we've got the guardian angel of health here. My attitudes about myself are rich in love and acceptance. So these wounds and this thing that you're defending and this thing that will eventually come out into the world as a good thing, is something that you are on the path of accepting at the moment. I honour the precious child. I honour the precious child within me. I nourish and cherish all new beginnings. So it's pretty obvious there's new beginnings here, but there seems to be a childhood thing that may have been affecting all of this. But what is important is love. Let love be the centre of my life. So that I'm going to go with self-love. May well be other love involved in there as well. But remember, this is quite a solitary journey, even though you've got great people with you. And I haven't looked at the distant stroke relevant past. So you were put out in the cold to try and when you was younger, well, obviously when you was younger because it was before, but you were put out in the cold after somebody's rather harsh words and somebody giving you some information that made you go, oh. And I feel like not that there was an attack on you, but there was this fact that came down and it shattered quite a few things, and caused you to run, basically, Knight of Wands. You run to basically escape some of the pain of it. We have got the Three of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and death. You demanded a change. Now, either that change has been achieved, or that change is being achieved, or that change that you demanded because of the hurtful news, the hurtful circumstance that caused you so much pain and anxiety, some of that change you now need to undo, unpick, go, yeah, that bit was horrible. I don't need that. But what opened the door to it was this bit, which is actually quite innocent and quite okay, quite that bit I can keep. And I feel there it's rather hinting that you've thrown the baby out with the bathwater. Right, let's get back to these oracle cards now I've done that bit. So step out of your comfort zone. Right, so North Node, this is all about destiny. Yes, step out of your comfort zone, embrace the future, but you are going into your own underworld, and there will be change. But you will find that where you are being guided by the correct forces. You are being guided by a higher power here, something that you should have great gratitude for, and your insight will carry you along a path to true love. And when I'm saying true love, I'm not meaning that Two of Cups, soulmate, twin flame, blah, 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 blah. I'm on about true love between your mind and your heart and your subconscious and unconscious and all the various bits of you. And let me see, there was, it was Queen of Cups said about the 5 parts of a human, because you hear people talk about the masculine and the feminine. But in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, it talks about 5 is the number of man. Masculine, feminine. Oh, let's get the hand in the camera. Inner child, inner angel, inner shadow. I really like that map of humanity, that map of our incarnation down here. And I feel like what you are looking for is bringing love between all those 5 aspects. Yes, you're in a shadow, or you're in a demon, if you want to call it that. But like Pisces, you are to hold the space. There is something that you've been protecting. You keep protecting that for the time being until it's no longer so tender that you don't need to protect it. You can just show it to the world because it is your strength. But you are shape shifting. Where was that? There was a 9 of Pentacles somewhere, wasn't there? Where, yeah, here we go, where I was getting that shape shifting vibe. You are changing your entire form in your own vision and eventually with other people. But all of these changes start internally. So it is to yourself. There is a doorway to spirit with this, with caring connections around you. So what I was saying about you being divinely guided, divine guidance means whichever path I take is always the right one. I like these little guys. They're like cheap ones off a magazine, but they're really nice. So you have the strength, you have the skill, you are opening gateways for yourself. This is a big month of inner work, but I don't think I'm telling you something that you don't already know, because you have already set foot on this path with this Chariot card already. You've already started this process. So really the whole reading I can sum up with, you're doing the right thing. Keep going. So if this means anything to you, Aries, comment down below. Please press subscribe while you're there. Thank you for all the people who have subscribed to me, and Happy New Year. Cheers.